So hello there guys and welcome back to the channel. This is Mel's Gaming here with another The Hunter Call of the Wild video. Now this video is going to be something a little bit different. In this video we're going to be taking a look at the last few trophies that led up to me actually finding the Great One Black Bear. And these were supposed to be in a video that was going to be posted, obviously because I just thought that I was going to be continuing grinding. You never know when a Great One's going to show up. And, you know, I was getting all of these clips ready to go into the next video about the grind, and then the Great One showed up. And obviously that video had to take sort of priority because I wanted to show you guys that, you know, it finally happened and everything. So these ones have kind of been sat waiting to be posted or shared basically since I found that Great One. And rather than just talking about just what happened in the lead up to the Great One in this video, I also want to talk about basically what I learned throughout that first grind, because I think that that's important. I think it's important to sort of sit back and take a minute and sort of review what happened and what I've learned through that grind and how I'm feeling now about going forward and whether I'd like to do another grind. But just starting off with this clip where I had a very, very aggressive level 6 bear that actually charged me from around the lake, which was something I've never had before with a black bear. And yeah, this was just a really cool clip. I always loved having them go aggressive. I always thought it was quite fun. But yeah, so in the lead up to actually finding the Great One Black Bear, a lot of interesting things started to happen. So most of you guys will probably know, if you've been following with my posts about the grind, that I got really lucky with the amount of rares I found. As you'll see, I ended up finding another one here that I didn't even know I'd shot, which was a level 4 cinnamon. But I was very, very unlucky with the amount of level 9s and especially the amount of diamonds that I got. I only had 5 diamonds out of 4.8 to 4.9 thousand kills, which compared to a lot of other people that are grinding was a lot less, and I was very, very concerned. Now, something I noticed, and I was going to mention it in the video that I had planned, was the fact that I was seeing more legendaries popping up now, well, then, than I had seen in, like, the past few thousand kills. I had, you know, 1 legendary one night, and then 2 in one run, 1 that trolled, 1 that made diamond, and I was just really feeling more positive, basically, that I was seeing more level 9s. And this was one of the ones that kind of started it. Unfortunately, it was a troll at 22.70, so by point 1 it missed out on diamond. But as I've always said throughout my grinds, when I see a level 9, or, you know, if it's whitetail, a level 3, whatever, you know, the max level is for that species, it always just feels encouraging. And so I was like, heck yeah, I've seen another level 9. It doesn't matter to me that it's trolled, it's a level 9, so that feels encouraging to me. And I was really happy, you know, because like I said, I only saw I saw very few level 9s. I had 5 diamonds and I think 3 trolls, which is not a lot out of let's say 4.9 thousand kills, because it was between 4.8 and 4.9. I'm not entirely sure, and I don't want to sort of over or underestimate it. So in that ballpark, but you know, that's a lot of kills to only have that amount of legendaries. And I was seeing all these other people that were grinding and they were getting diamonds every few hundred kills, and I was like, oh my gosh, what am I doing wrong? What am I doing wrong? And that's just something that I always have in the back of my mind. I am very self-critical, whether it's on grinds or anything I'm ever doing. I'm always very, very self-critical. And I will sort of take a step back and go, okay, if they're getting more diamonds than me, do I need to change something up? And I'm not the kind of person who won't change something up. And, you know, I'm seeing this, like I said, to seeing people with more and more level 9s than me. But every time I even thought about trying something different, whether it was the herd management, I did it for a couple of runs and I ended up with absolutely nothing but tiny males. And I was like, this doesn't work for me. This is worse than what I had before, because at least before I was getting decent size ones, whether it was, you know, a lot of mythicals or big level 7s, at least I was getting big bears. When I tried herd management, level 4s, level 5s, level 6s, nothing big at all, and it just made it feel like all the bears on my map just disappeared. It was really weird. But when I went back immediately to killing everything, which you can see that's what I'm doing here. Even when I just took out that level 9, I continue to shoot everything else around it once I've dropped the level 9. that's my way, is to kill absolutely everything. And I was that way then getting level 9s crop up. You will have seen I had the 2 trolls, and now we have a diamond at 23.10. And I figured, okay, this method of killing everything has worked at least 7 times for me. Now, I never know whether to include the first Whitetail Great One grind I did, because I kind of killed everything, but I was also kind of cautious because it was on latent lakes, and of course, with the amount of water, I was trying to preserve zones, so I didn't maybe kill quite as much, but, you know, at least 7 times where I just slaughtered everything, it worked for me. So, for me, that's like, okay, why try and fix something if it isn't broken? If this doesn't work, and maybe I get to 10,000 kills and something hasn't shown up, maybe then I should try something else. But for now, I just thought in my head, okay, just keep going with what you're doing. Try not to think about everyone else's grind and how they're progressing. Or, you know, as I say, it's hard to define progress on a Great One grind because there's not like there isn't a certain amount of animals you need to kill or a certain amount of diamonds you need to kill before one crops up. It's all RNG. So it's hard to say progressing, but what I mean is, you know, try not to compare myself to how many diamonds they're getting and what they're getting and their kill numbers, etc. Just keep plodding along at my own pace and just keep focusing on my grind specifically. Try not to think about other people's. And in the end, that was what worked for me. As soon as I just kept going, I kept getting the level 9 showing up. You guys will see there's more level 9s in this video than in any other of my grind videos for the Great One Black Bear. And I was like, okay, we're getting level 9 showing up, and we're getting diamonds. This one was a 23.60, and I said, this is a good one. You know, that's not massively far off of a max weight at 284 kg when they max at 290, so it is a little bit of wiggle room there, but not masses, not compared to some of the level 9s that I've had. And I was just feeling more and more positive, and I was like, okay, just keep going. If it's working, then hopefully eventually one of these level 10s will show up instead of a level 9. And I think for me at least, the first Great One grind of any species is the most difficult. So the first whitetail one, the first red deer one, and of course the first black bear one is always the most difficult because you're always questioning, is this going to be different? Is my method gonna continue to work? Am I gonna need to change something? And again, if you're as self-critical as me, that's a question that crops up quite a lot. But now I know, in hindsight, that everything I did ended up paying off with a Great One. And now I feel so much more confident about going forward and actually doing a second grind. And I actually am already considering going and doing a second grind for a Great One Black Bear, which is something, if you'd asked me a couple of weeks ago when I was in the middle of it all and really, really stressed, because I was incredibly stressed, I can tell you that. I was so worried that I was doing something wrong and that this bear was never going to show up. You know, many, many hours, 12 hours a day, killing that many bears and then not seeing a lot of legendaries as a bit of a reward as you're going along. It gets it's quite taxing on your mind, and it's almost like the mind games start creeping in. It's like, what am I doing wrong? There's got to be something I need to do better. But at the end of the day, I know now there was nothing I needed to do better, because at the end of the day, I got the Great One. And so I know, again, if it's not broke, don't fix it. So if I go forward and I do a second black bear grind, which, as I said, I'm very highly considering already, then I'll just do the same thing. I will just continue to kill everything. And, you know, I've got friends who have also done black bear grinds, and they've done it pretty much the same way as me. Some of them killing females, some of them not killing females. That's always kind of a personal preference thing, as everything is with a grind, basically. Choose what works for you, as I always say. But some people prefer to kill females, some prefer not to. And that always seems to be, you know, that's the most different thing between people's grinds. At the end of the day, if you're grinding for a Great One, you're killing males, and how you kill those males is up to you, whether you want to try the herd management stuff or whether you just want to do what I do and kill absolutely everything in sight. But, yeah, you know, I've seen other people do the same methods pretty much and also get Great Ones, and I'm like, okay, this is working, you know, it is working, and it's not just for me, so I'm not going crazy. So yeah, if I do another Great One grind, I'm gonna do the same thing. And this is basically what I wanted to talk about in this video, because like I said, I think it's very important to sit back once you've completed a grind like this and take in what you've learned. Take in the whole process of the first grind. You know, how did it go? Was there anything that stressed you out? You know, and just see if maybe there's something you want to change. Now I know that there's nothing I want to change. I was just worried because I wasn't seeing a lot of level 9s. But then I got 5 diamonds and then I got the great one, so it just shows that it's all RNG. And the fact that I only got, a couple of legendaries out of several thousand kills, and then I got legendary after legendary after legendary, and then, in fact, I got a legendary, it would have been technically the same day, but, I had a sleep in between, so I had this legendary here that was at 2 thorns, and then the next night, which, as I said, technically the same day, but anyway, the next time I went to grind, I then had the great one show up here after a couple of runs. So, yeah, to me, it worked, and that's what I'm going to stick with. I know that there's a lot of talk in the community right now about how amazing herd management is, and how many diamonds you can get from it, but it has never worked for me, personally, and I'm not going to say, don't try it, it doesn't work, blah, blah, blah. It just hasn't worked for me personally. And like I said, if it's not broke, why try and fix it? This has worked for me now, I'd say at least 8 out of 9 times. This is my 9th great one. But I'd say, like I said, the one on Leighton, the initial great one grind is kind of here or there, because I had to sort of preserve zones a little bit more just for my own sanity. But yeah, at least 8 times. So I'm not going to change that method now I know that it works. And yeah, that's basically what I wanted to talk about in this video. So if you guys see me talking about grinding for a second Great One Black Bear a lot quicker than maybe I thought I was going to, that's why. And I've kind of been hunting a lot of Revontuli multiplayer, but then just occasionally hopping back over to Silveridge and killing only maybe 10 or 20 bears. But it could be in the next 10 or 20 bears that a great one shows up. So that was another thing I wanted to make clear in this video, is I am actually doing a grind kind of passively at the minute, and I might ramp that up. I might sort of decrease it depending on what happens, and we've got a lot of new games coming out in the next sort of month, so how much time I'll be able to put into it is a factor as well. But yeah, if somehow another great one shows up, and it shows up very quickly, at least you guys now know that it's not like it's just showed up out of nowhere. I am actually grinding a little bit, just a little bit. But yeah, I've rambled a lot in this video, but like I said, I really wanted to just sit back with you guys, take into account everything that happened, talk about everything that happened, and explain what that lead up to the great one kind of included, and show you with the clips that I had so many more level 9s than I'd really seen in thousands of kills. And it was like my RNG just changed. It went from nothing, hardly any big bears, to big bears every, like I said, I had 2 legendaries in one run, one that trolled and one that made diamond, but that was a lot, considering I'd only seen 2 in several thousand kills at that point, or 3 in several thousand kills. So yeah, it was really interesting to see that the amount of level 9s actually sort of ramped up, and then I think that encouraged me to go harder, maybe, and sort of just push harder, because yes, I'm seeing positive results. And then boom, the great one happened. And I have to say thank you to you guys again, just to everyone who supported me throughout that. That was it was a stressful grind, but it was worth it. And seeing the responses that you guys have had to the video and how you guys enjoyed it, it makes me so incredibly happy. I wanted to present you guys with something that would be enjoyable and really show off what a great one bear meant to me, and how cool they are and everything, and it seems that came across really well, and I'm absolutely ecstatic about that. But that is going to be it for this video, guys. Thank you so much for watching. We will see if I end up intensifying this second grind, or if I'll just keep slowly plodding along and seeing what shows up. We will see. And yeah, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Thank you.